The cabin was tense, engines humming, when a voice from row 7 cut through the air like a blade. "Go back to Africa," he shouted, loud enough for the whole plane to hear. Passengers froze. The black woman he mocked said nothing, just looked at him with calm, piercing eyes. He smirked, proud of his outburst, unaware that the person he'd just humiliated wasn't a passenger at all. Minutes later, that same woman he wanted off the plane lifted the intercom and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking." The cabin fell silent. The terminal buzzed with impatience. Flight 318 from New York to London was delayed for the 3rd time that morning, and passengers were restless. Phones glowed, coffee steamed, and frustration hung thick in the air. Near gate C12, a man in an expensive gray suit paced like the world owed him movement. Edward Lawson, CEO of a private equity firm, hated waiting, especially when he felt important. At the corner of the gate, a black woman in uniform reviewed her flight checklist. Captain Maya Roberts, calm and composed, barely noticed the stares. She'd seen them before, the double takes, the raised eyebrows, the quiet disbelief that a black woman could command the sky. It didn't bother her anymore. Not after 15 years of flying through storms stronger than prejudice. But that morning, a different kind of turbulence was waiting. When boarding began, Edward pushed past the line, flashing his platinum card. "First class. Let's move, people," he muttered. The gate agent tried to remind him, politely, that boarding was by group. He waved her off. "I pay for priority, not patience." As he stepped through the jet bridge, he spotted Maya speaking softly with the cabin crew near the entrance. Her uniform bore 3 gold stripes, calm, professional, commanding. He laughed under his breath. "What? They're letting anyone wear pilot badges now?" She caught the comment but didn't react. "Good morning, sir." "Welcome aboard," he snorted. "Yeah, sure. Just get us there on time, sweetheart." The word landed like a slap. She smiled politely. "I'll do my best, sir." He brushed past her and sank into seat 3A, opening his laptop like nothing happened. 30 minutes later, the passengers settled in. The doors closed. Maya stepped into the cockpit. Her co-pilot, First Officer Ethan Reed, glanced back. "Everything clear?" She nodded. "Let's give them a smooth ride." The intercom clicked. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We'll be departing shortly for London. Flight time." A loud, mocking voice interrupted from the cabin. "Wait, you're the pilot?" Heads turned. It was Edward. His face twisted with disbelief. "You've got to be kidding me. I don't trust my life to some diversity hire. Where's the real pilot?" The plane went still. The flight attendants froze. Ethan's hand tensed on the throttle. Maya's tone didn't waver. "Sir, please remain seated." But Edward stood. "No, I'm serious. This is outrageous. I'm not flying across the Atlantic with—" He hesitated, looking her up and down. "Her in charge. Go back to Africa or wherever you came from." The words hit the cabin like thunder. Gasps erupted. A woman covered her child's ears. A man began filming. Maya's voice cut through the chaos. Steady, firm, controlled. "Sir, take your seat immediately." He laughed. "Or what, you'll call security? You don't have that kind of power." She stepped closer, her eyes sharp but calm. "Actually, I do." She turned toward the cockpit, pressed the intercom, and spoke clearly. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Due to a security incident on board, we'll be returning to the gate." The murmurs began instantly. "Wait, she's the captain?" Someone whispered. "Oh my God!" "She's the captain." Edward's smirk faltered. "You can't be serious." "Very," she replied. "And for your safety and everyone else's, you'll be escorted off this aircraft." As the plane rolled back toward the terminal, he shouted, "You'll regret this! I know people in aviation. You'll lose your job for this stunt." Maya said nothing. Her silence was sharper than any insult. When the jet bridge reattached, airport police entered the cabin. Passengers began clapping softly as Edward's rage turned to panic. "This is discrimination!" he yelled as he was led away. "I'll sue every one of you." A woman in row 8 muttered, "Now you know how it feels." Within hours, the footage hit social media. The clip of the white businessman screaming, "Go back to Africa," while the black pilot calmly returned the plane to the gate spread like wildfire. Millions watched. News anchors replayed it frame by frame. The caption read, "She didn't raise her voice. She raised the standard." By morning, Edward Lawson's name was trending, not for business, but for bigotry. His company issued a statement calling his behavior unacceptable and contrary to our values. By noon, he was suspended. By evening, fired. Meanwhile, Captain Maya Roberts became a symbol of quiet strength. Interviews poured in. Airline unions praised her professionalism. One comment under the viral video said it best. She didn't humiliate him. She just let gravity do the work. Weeks later, during a leadership summit on workplace equality, Maya stood behind a podium, wearing her uniform with quiet pride. "Power," she said, "isn't about how loud you can shout. It's about how calm you stay when the world tries to shake you." The audience rose to their feet. Cameras flashed. Even her co-pilot, seated in the front row, wiped his eyes. Afterward, a young black girl approached her with trembling hands. "Captain Roberts, my dad showed me your video. I want to be like you someday." Maya knelt slightly, smiled, and said, "Then start now. The sky's big enough for all of us." That night, another flight departed New York for London. Same route, same call sign. Captain Maya Roberts in command. She looked out the cockpit window as the city lights faded below. Somewhere down there, the man who once tried to shame her was grounded, not by gravity, but by his own hate. She smiled softly and whispered, "Cleared for takeoff." The engines roared. And this time, no one dared to question who was flying the plane. If you believe respect should fly higher than arrogance, stand with truth today. Like this video, share it everywhere, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from and what moment hit hardest. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because silence empowers hate, but courage keeps the skies clear.